What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We're going to attempt to do our best to get some wins today. We are seeking some wins. I have had this fantastic tech tree. This tech tree I've been showing you guys since the sneak peeks is global #1's tech tree at the moment. So clearly we're doing something right. The whole goal all along was to get to Seekers. You'll see they've actually went and got shock launchers. They're that far ahead, but this base is basically the same tech tree as what I've got here, and I just haven't played enough. I've missed some chests, missed some opportunities, but someone who hasn't, if we look at the top global leaderboard, he's still there, number 15 overall, Orion. Orion and I chat quite a bit about tech trees. If we have a look at his base as well, you'll notice same basic layout. The only difference is he has more chests because he's higher rank, and I got a bunch of chests in gold in iron that I should have waited to get into gold, but just couldn't do it. I've been a little bit late, and every time you're a little bit late, it just gets that much harder. And Orion has been on it and pushing and kicking ass. Not to say that I'm more skilled than him. I'm definitely not. He has the skill and he's done the timing stuff right. I have missed out on the timing. So nonetheless, the reason for this video, I finally have the Seekers. It has been a long time coming. It has been incredibly painful. As you can see, my wins and losses have been ups and downs. I have not yet been to gold on this account. My other account is in gold. I have missed out on so many boss battles. I have screwed up so many times. I don't think I can remember a season where I have screwed up so much. There's no good base, really. Anytime I see a base like this, I just go all Zuka, and you can typically beat it in 3 minutes, 8 seconds or so. The trick is all Zuka. If the person doesn't have mines or machine guns, all Zuka all day long. You have more than enough GBE. I don't think I have any of those. There we go, right there. So this is an example of what I've been doing against. This is not the exact style of base, but as you can see, there's no mines, so you don't have to worry about timing all that much, and you've got tons and tons of GBE just cruising through all of them, and then you can just flare past stuff. So bases that don't have mines or machine guns, such as mine, are a complete and utter pushover, and so you have to just get a bunch of people who are not doing very well. And as you can see here, I'm leaving a bunch of bases up because I'm just rushing way too much. And so getting into Seekers, 259, 254, decent times for sure. But I can tell you, get into Seekers. You will not regret it. Have I shown you this one yet? No. So this one is another example. They actually have machine guns, but just dropping and running and dropping and running. There are so many ways to just fly through these bases. I am not even, frankly, doing a great job just flaring and shocking through things, and you have so much GBE. If we have a look at our GBE node over into here, I have not touched it, but I have upgraded my gunboat to max. So if you have any questions about tech tree specific stuff, do let me know, but I'm hopeful, very hopeful, that we're going to start taking off like a rocket ship. Orion said he went up 6 ranks yesterday, and that is not like from like 1 to 6. He's talking about like 18 to 24 or something absolutely ridiculous like that. Now, I have not watched a single Seeker video. I don't know exactly what the strategies are. I haven't used them in quite a while, so we're likely going to screw things up a little bit, but I'm mostly okay with that. So we're going to go something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 on this side, I think, should basically do it. We can smoke there, and on this side, we're just going to shock our way in. Then we're going to shock up there, and then I think as long as I am somewhat reasonable on my shocks, we should just be able to cruise through all of this stuff and then shock our way out of the smoke. And then, come on, my first Seeker hit is going to be 3 minutes 34 seconds. So flying into Seekers just makes things so much faster. Now, that attack was mediocre. I'm sure I'll be able to get better. Obviously, we'll face off against some tougher bases, but people who don't have Seekers have zero chance right now. And I realize that a lot of people out there, look at this. This is a smart flare. This person, Labachi, getting their troops up around this stuff. Look at that. That is a great flare. And then, there we go. That's next flare was a little bit late, but very well done by Labachi coming in around the stuff, using that flare to get all of his troops moving towards the engine room, but then just pummeled by Seekers. So hopefully you guys have been paying attention, and Seekers are there's definitely a bit of a problem as far as pay to win. I have instant training. A lot of you don't. And the problem with Seekers, if we look at them, you only have 139 reserves, which when you're talking about dropping, do we drop 64 at a time? Is that right? You're only looking at 3 battles worth. So bit of a problem there. Most definitely, I can understand the frustrations. I love them. I absolutely love Seekers, but I have instant training. So I am definitely biased. Now, along the same lines, there's this, I just love the fact that they don't follow flares. Now, hopefully later on in the season, we get into some combo attacks. Oh man, do we dare? Now, you can get 3:33 is my fastest time on this kind of base using just a heavy rush, but I know what, I'm going to chicken out. I have not had a 2-engine room base in a long time, and for 2-engine room bases, I throw 1 flag up front, and then I drop all the rest. That way, 1 boat of your heavies takes a little bit of the extra damage. I like to use a ground flare, and we're talking about small details that don't really mean anything, and then I like to have them come out of the smoke. That way, when I flare, I can go shock, and then just all of the stuff pops out of smoke. They come out firing, and 3:31 is my typical, but like I said, 3:33 is my fastest time ever. 3:30 also fairly normal. It's 2-engine rooms though. Now, let me know if you have 2-engine rooms. Do you like going up against 4-engine room bases, or do you hate it? Because what a couple people were saying is they like it and hate it, because you're guaranteed to get 4 engine rooms, which is guaranteed to get you some chests, but of course you're also guaranteed to lose. So it's a tough call. Like, if you have 2 engine rooms and you're locked in there, do let me know what you think. I kind of assume that you hate coming up against 4 engine room players, but there is also at least a tiny upside in that you get 4 engine rooms all in one attack, which might take you 3-4 attacks otherwise, because the 2-engine room meta is so locked down at this point. People have so many defenses. If we go have a look at our tech tree, they've got everything on this entire screen maxed out. So not the gameplay for me. For me, I like 4 or 5 engine room gameplay. Even the 3 engine, when I come up against a 3 engine room player, I absolutely hate it, because 3 engine rooms have so many defenses. They have rocket launchers now. So 4, 5, and that is, I'm okay losing with a super sparse tree, because it means that I'm going to get into the more engine room stuff later on. And I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If you like 3 engine rooms, if you like 2 engine rooms, 2 is definitely not on my radar, because you don't even have flares yet, and no flares is no fun. For me, Boom Beach is all about flares, and then I'm using a troop, the Seekers, that don't use flares. So, bit of a hypocrite, maybe, but anyways, let's move past that. We're going to get into some mines here. This is going to be a bit different. I think on this side we can attack that engine room from the right without getting near any mines, and then we'll drop our Seekers on the left side and they can go up through all that stuff. I don't think I see any problem at all, but we need to switch our troops. That was almost really bad. So we're going to go something like 2 and then 6, I think, is probably the right number of things. And then, I mean, this should realistically just cruise through all this stuff. Probably don't even need a shock on that right-hand side. And I actually said the right side this time. I am terrible for that. We're going to pre-smoke right into there. Get those smokes laid down so that we don't have to shock quite so early. And then, boom, shakalaka, out come. Oh, look at that. Our Seekers actually went to that right-hand side engine room too, which is going to shave off a couple seconds. Did not expect... I basically just drop them and write them off at that point, hoping that they get this engine room, and if they get anything else, it's a bonus. So these attacks are going to be complete and utter domination. I mean, the fact that I have Seekers and I'm not in gold yet, I'm probably one of the very few players to do that at this point, because most people would have gotten into gold already. I am late. I am 100% aware of that. This person's got Kavan and heavy rifle. Very interesting. Every time I see someone heavy rushing, it just makes me shake my head. Heavy rushing is not sustainable, folks. I don't think I've lost to a heavy rushing person in ever. Heavy rushing around this base just takes so long. Bust the Zookas out. You will not regret it. And I think Zookas are required, are they not? I guess yeah, they are required. So there's no reason not to be using Zookas. What else should we be upgrading? I'm going to save these tokens, and I'm not sure if we're going to go get heavy choppers or not. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be required. Thankfully, there are people ahead of me, so I will let you know what the prognosis on that is. Shock launchers, the fact that global number 1 has shock launchers, let's have a look and see if Mr. Orion, Mr. 15 global has... What do you got? No shock launchers there yet, but never quite know how people are doing as far as chests and if they collected them in gold, if they collected them in diamond. Typically, the people who are up the top have just been out front, and I am in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 hours behind them, so not liking my chances at all. But finding opponent thing, let's just click restart. Gonna check to see where we're at. Oh, this is our boss battle into gold. So if we win, I'm just gonna call it a day. Super short video today. If we lose, we'll keep pushing because we have to get into gold today. Now, where do we want to go? If I go to this engine room from the right, they'll go from there back to there, which could be beneficial. And then I could do some more up that left-hand side. Lots of mines, though. I don't know how my Seekers with no troop health are going to do against mines quite yet. So we're just going to have to go... I think I'm going to go 5 on the left. Let's go 5 on the left, 3 on the right. And then we're going to go smoke into there. We're also going to smoke past there. And then I'm going to try to shock the machine gun with... No, it didn't work out at all. But I think we should still be mostly okay. And then I'm going to smoke past there as well. Oh, there's just so much going on in all of the directions that I'm out of smokes. I'm out of shocks. So hopefully these right-hand side Seekers don't fizzle out. I'm going to throw a shock there. Okay, so Seekers seem to have a bit more health than I gave them credit for. Seem to be doing fairly okay. I've lost a whole bunch of them for certain. But Handsome Rob, sorry buddy, but not going to cut it. As he always got Bombardiers. Now, Bombardiers, I've just started seeing Bombardiers coming up, which shows that my gut feeling is that Bombardiers are a little bit behind even me. So my tech tree has been good, but my playtime has been delayed and slow and not enough. And these players' tech trees have been somewhat less ideal, I think. And so now, actually, did I claim this chest? I think I might have claimed that chest in iron during this video even. And if that's the case, I am a moron, or at least I am not all there at the moment. So typically never ever release weekend videos, but I figured, you know what, finally got into Seekers. For those of you who are not watching the leaderboards, aren't on Discord or social media, I figured I'd throw this video out there just showing that all along we've been saying get to Seekers, and now that I'm finally there, easy into gold. Likely could push to diamond if I sit down and dedicate the time. That might be an overthought though, so we will have to wait and find out. Now, I was really not hoping for a 3-engine room base. I don't like 3-engine room bases. What we're going to do is I'm going to go something like this. We're going to get 1 boat of Seekers out there, and then we're going to go 1, 2 more after the fact, hopefully smoking in past that flamethrower and machine gun, and then shocking here. Now, and then what we're going to do on the left-hand side is as soon as that engine room starts to go down, I'm going to drop this 1 boat there, 1 more boat, and then all the rest in behind. I just assume that that entire right-hand side boat is going to get absolutely pummeled. And then hopefully they'll clear a bunch of the mines for us. And we're just hoping our darndest to keep all of this stuff dead on arrival. I assumed my Seekers were going to go for that right-hand side engine room. I did not expect this at all. Need to get 1 more shock out. Do we have a shock? No. Also don't have medkits, but thankfully managed to get through that. There was a little bit more stress than I figured we actually needed. I also said I was going to finish off the video after getting into gold, but clearly that's not the case. Kind of nice that we managed to show a 2-engine room base, a 3-engine room base, and a 4-engine room base, all using Seekers. And if you are using Seekers against 2-engine room bases, do let me know. I feel like I am too cowardly, for lack of a better word. Now, the heavy rush hack, you got to ditch the heavy rush, buddy. Get some Zookas out there. I don't think it's possible to get into... Well, I was going to say it's not possible to get into gold with heavy rush, but clearly Hack has done it. So I guess maybe they only have 3 engine rooms, so maybe this is the only troop combo that's viable for them at this point. So Um, let's just have a quick look. I want to see, they have 3 engine rooms, and they could have Zookas, I suppose, but I guess go with what's working for you. So that's a 3 engine room base, so I take it all back. We're going to do one more attack and just cruising up the ranks. I'm very curious to see when we're going to run into our first Seeker player. I'm going to guess it's going to be somewhere in the 18 tier, somewhere in that neighborhood, but there might be someone like me who has just been super, super delayed. Now, the problem is here, I haven't used Seekers yet this season, so I don't know the distances. I'm guessing that engine room on the left is slightly too far back, and my Seekers would go for this engine room. So what we're going to do is I am going to go something like the, you know what? I'm just going to go like this. Blah. We're just going to smoke all the way through it, and we're going to go for this engine room right here. Those smokes are going to save a couple of our troops, and then as soon as they pop out, boom, shakalaka, throw in the shock right there, and then we're going to pre-smoke right behind them, hoping that they go the direction that I think they are, and they're going to walk. Oh, look at that. We actually got a couple going off to that left-hand side as well. I am tempted to try to save them, and then at this point, oh, not going where I thought they were going. Hopefully, oh man, this is going to be rough news. Just need to pop out right past all that stuff. Smoke, and this is why smoke level 1 is so good. Also Seekers, like that was ridiculous. They didn't go anywhere where I expected them to do, but running into a non-Seeker player, 318 is bad for a Seeker attack, but against anyone else, it's going to be a great time. So they came in with a 3-minute time. Going to quickly show you that one more attack, simply because a 3-minute time against my base is pretty darn good. I'll show you how to beat my base, which I don't really recommend. Kavan, and only in warships is Kavan anything close to useful. I can't stand Kavan on the main game, but I kind of like the fact they've made him somewhat useful on warships, but let's just have a look and see exactly where the heck Kavan is. So Kavan is up there in a dead-end route. I've also seen players who went up and got Barrage. Now, Barrage also seems like a dead-end route, but maybe, just maybe, it's going to be working. I mean, these engine rooms don't have a lot of health. As you look right here, we're only looking at 45,000 health. So Barrage looks like it is a dead end, but let me know if you've gone that route. I don't feel like I'm going to be going that road because I am excited to get artillery, though. Artillery is going to help clear mines so nicely. Last attack, I promise. I just get hooked in, I get sucked in, and I want to get all of the wins. So on this one, we're going to go something like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then all 4 over here. I feel like that's probably a decent starting point for us. And then we can get all of our Seekers into here, shock all of this stuff, and avoid the majority of their mines, because otherwise, like, all of those mines in that far right-hand side make me a little bit nervous for sure. I think, yeah, see, look at that. All of those Seekers just instant fizzle. But just like that, we're going to get back in. It should be around 3 minutes, 28 seconds. I hate waiting for that tick. It feels like when you're watching your time, that tick over to the next second just happens way too quickly or way too slowly, depending if you're attacking or defending. Wilson coming in with the heavy bombardiers. I feel like heavy bombardiers are just going to be stuck. They have likely have troop health. They've also spent a bunch more tokens than I have, so pulling out the win. I do have a second account that went up into troop health and into boom cannons and stuff. Never did go into cryo bombardiers, but it feels like cryo bombardiers have had their moment in the sun. Let me know if you're using them, if you think they're going to be useful later on in the season. Otherwise, that is a quick win streak from mid to low 15 into upper 16. I'm going to keep going from the safety and comfort of my couch. As always, thank you for coming in. I'm Zedmont, and one more time, a big shout out to all of the players in our task force. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in gold in this task force, and 4 more in our other task force, with Orion sitting up there in diamond. Essie, Payday, I assume a bunch of these guys, Keone as well. I can't believe I'm actually ahead of Keone. That is very, very rare. Keone is the only person in our task force group that has a worse time zone than me. He is in Hawaii, so his time zone is the absolute worst for warships there is. Might be even better though, because maybe he could start the night before, whereas for me it's like 1 a.m., which is not happening. Anyways, shout out to all of our players. Happy New Year. It is now January 2nd. I shall talk to you soon. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about warships. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.